First of all, let's put our hands together for all the speakers today. Absolute phenomenal speakers today. Thank you to Cody and his team. Absolutely incredible. So I'm here today because everybody can sit down now. I believe that people have been taught the wrong way to sell. And I believe it so much that I went and I wrote a book called Sell the Problem, Not the Solution. See, I believe that there's 3 areas that are so critical to salespeople that hold them back from reaching their full potential and hold them back from absolute greatness. And I'm going to talk to you about those 3 things. I call them the 3 no's. So I want you to write this down because this will change how you sell another person. Before I write those things down, I want to ask this question to the audience because this is so key. What is the number one reason that people hate talking to a salesperson? What's the number one reason people hate talking to a salesperson? Pushy. What else?
They're afraid they'll buy it.
Afraid they'll buy it? Anything else? Manipulation. Those are actually all byproducts of the real reason. And I want you to listen very, very closely right now. The number one reason that people hate talking to salespeople is they don't listen. See, by not listening, you become pushy. You become manipulative. You have to listen to the other person. And by listening to the other person, you avoid the 3 no's. So I'm going to talk to you right now about the 3 no's. The first thing that salespeople do is there's no connection. There's no connection. They treat the other person like a transaction and not a relationship. Once I realized that selling to be successful and to be able to convince other people, I realized that I had to treat it like a relationship. Once I treated the phone call or the sale as a relationship, my sales skyrocketed through the roof. I would jump on phone calls and TO phone calls where they told the agent, there's no way I'm giving you my banking information. And I was able to turn 90+% of those around because I connected with the other person. See, when you go to Target to buy something and you walk up, it's a transaction. There's no relationship. But a lot of salespeople treat the individual they're trying to sell to as they're coming through the line to go ahead and buy at Target. So you have to be able to connect with the other person. The second no is this, is that they have no good intentions. So no good intentions means this, is they try to sell everybody. Okay, when you try to sell everybody, you're selling the old way. That's not the new way of selling. That's the old way of selling. You're trying to sell everybody. What are you doing? You're not listening. You're being pushy. So we're going to focus right now on the third one because this is the most important thing in sales. And this is where I see agents make the biggest mistake. I see that in my own call center as well, and we work very hard at this, is that there's no discovery. The discovery is where you find somebody help me here? Who said problem? Please come grab a book. There you go. Oh. That's where you find the problem. Sell the problem, not the solution. You have to have a discovery. Because you know what the discovery does? It does this for you. There's 2 things it does for you. The discovery tells you if you can sell them. It also tells you how you can sell them. The discovery is where the sale is actually made. See, the purpose of the discovery is this. The purpose of discovery, if you've not heard this before, you want to write this down. The purpose of discovery separates the curious from the serious. So each one of you in here have been separated right now. You're no longer curious. You showed up in the room. You are serious. So the discovery process, it separates. But that's the stage where you become an information gatherer and not an information giver. Let me repeat that. This is where you become an information gatherer and not an information giver. I would have so many phone calls where I had the great connection. They would buy anything I sold them. Anything. I had good intentions. But my discovery showed me that it wasn't the right fit for them. And so I had to leave the conversation. Because if I stayed in the conversation, you know what I became? I became a peddler and not a professional. Because once you elevate to a level of professionalism, people will buy because you follow the steps. Does anybody in here want to see a good discovery, how a good discovery actually works? You want to see that? I'm going to show you right now two different people. You're going to see a discovery from a lounge act, and you're going to see a discovery from a rock star. So here's how the discovery from the lounge act goes. What do you have for your insurance right now? The customer says, I have Obamacare. The agent says, how much are you? That's a lounge act. That is a lounge act. If you're doing that, stop it. Stop it. They can already see that it's becoming a transaction. It's not becoming a relationship. So let me show you how to do it correctly. You do it correctly, Jesse mentioned this, is you do it with open-ended questions, not closed-ended questions. So you're going to see something really crazy right now. What do you have for your insurance right now? Well, I have Obamacare. Let me ask you a question. With your Obamacare plan you have right now, if there was one thing that you could change, what would it be? I'm getting them to talk. I'm getting them to open up. Well, what I would change is I would change my deductible. So what do you do then? Oh, how much are you paying? No. You keep digging deeper. You've got to go levels deeper. So the rock star goes, let me ask you a question. How's your health? Why? Because they said they didn't want a deductible. So if they didn't want a deductible, that might mean what? That they have some health issues? That maybe they met their deductible? So how's your health? Well, a couple of years ago, I had a heart attack, and I hit my deductible, so I like to have a smaller deductible. So what do I do then? Do I stop? No, you keep going levels deeper. You've got to go deeper. Let me ask you a question. When you had your heart attack, how did that make you feel? Now all of a sudden you're hitting a pain point. So what is this person's problem? Their problem is that they're unhealthy. And I'm going to dig into that pain point. That's how you become excellent at a discovery, and it does not become a transaction. So we've talked about what the discovery does for you. But you know what? It does something for them. And this is key. This is key to being an absolute incredible salesperson, because I believe that everybody is a salesperson, but not everybody knows how to close. I'm hoping to change that right now. This is what it does for them. Number one, it sets expectations. See, when I'm asking them questions, it's already setting expectations for what we're going to hopefully do. Also, what it does for them is this. It goes ahead and not only sets expectations, it overcomes objections before they actually present themselves. So it sets expectations, it goes ahead and it overcomes objections before they present themselves, and the last thing it does is probably maybe the most important. Can anybody tell me what it is? Shows what? Shows I care. Anything else it does? Builds rapport. They know you're listening, but it does something else. It gets them involved. It gets them engaged. It gets the other person involved. So if you want to be really, really good at selling and be able to convince other people, you have to connect with them. You have to stop treating them like a transaction. I've trained so many sales agents. I've jumped on so many phone calls. I've been on so many thousands of phone calls. The connection is so important. The connection, the rapport shows that you're making a relationship. You're not making a transaction. You have to have good intentions. If you don't have good intentions, you're trying to sell everybody you talk to, I'm going to tell you right now, you will be the 92%. And Cody doesn't want that for you. I don't want that for you. Have good intentions, because if you have good intentions, you won't be a peddler, you'll be a professional. And lastly, work on your discovery. You know, they'll show it up here in a second, but my book, Sell the Problem, Not the Solution, every time I crack it open, and I'm not just saying this, every time I crack it open, I go, this is the formula. This is the secret. This is what made me successful. This is what made me have a big agency along with our team members. But I found out that it wasn't just me, it was we. Because no one person does it themselves. Cody doesn't do it himself. It's a we. So I've come to find out over time that it's not a me, it's a we. So I want us to be able to do this together. And it starts by reading this book and applying the principles in Sell the Problem, Not the Solution. So when you don't do a discovery, here's what happens. I want to give you an illustration. If I plant apple seeds, what do I get? An apple tree? If I plant pumpkin seeds, what do I get? A pumpkin tree. If I plant nothing, what do I get? Who said that? What did you say? Come grab a book. If you plant nothing, you get weeds. You actually go backwards when you do nothing. See, what Cody's trying to do, what his team's trying to do, is he's trying to push you forward. He's trying to help you make decisions in your life that will impact you. You know, I'll tell you right now, it'll be an absolute tragedy if we all came in this room today and we all walked out and we didn't all go to Dallas together. Because when you're in Dallas, you're going to see something different. Your mind's going to open up like it's never opened up before. Do you want to hear how crazy things are? I met Tim Tebow a year ago. I went to a conference, and I had a second to talk to Tim Tebow. And I told Tim Tebow, I said, Tim, you and I are going to work together someday. And here I am a year later, I'm going to be on the same stage as Tim Tebow. So does being in the 8% work? Does taking action work? I'm going to encourage every one of you before you leave today to take some action. Take a second to think before you leave. I cannot miss this next journey, because if you miss Dallas, you'll miss everything. Because this is just a small little thing of what you'll see. You're going to see the huge enchilada when you're there. I want to end with this. I want us all to stand right now, because I want to end with this. Is I believe that in every single one of us, there's a lion. There's a lion within every single one of us, but what a lot of people don't know about the lion is this. The lion does not hunt. The lioness actually hunts. The lion is not the fastest. That award goes to the cheetah. The lion is not the strongest. That goes to the tiger. So why is the lion considered the king of the jungle if he doesn't hunt, he's not the fastest, and he's not the strongest? And I thought about it. Why, if those are the characteristics, why does God himself equate himself to the lion? Here's why. The lion is the king of the jungle. The lion, when he steps out, he walks with authority. Everybody knows when the lion is coming into town. The lion displays kingship qualities because that's who a lion is. The lion is a protector. The lion will not let anything happen to the lioness. He will not let anything happen to the cubs. But he goes even a step further. He doesn't let anything happen to the community. That's who the lion is. But that's not the end of the story. There's one quality that the lion has that we all should strive to have, because this one quality is why God equates himself to the lion. The lion has no fear. The lion will attack to protect. The lion does not fear anyone else. The lion's roar can be heard from miles away. It's one of the most piercing things to the human ear, but it's also one of the most piercing things to the animal kingdom. So as we all walk out of here today, as we all strive to be better, let's all look at the characteristics of the lion, and let's work every single day to go ahead and walk out with authority. Walk out of here with no fear. And I hope to see every single one of you in Dallas in July. Thank you. It's my time.